Yeah, our class not quite as large as they normally are. We pick up two kids from the same state, from the same club team, and that definitely wasn't by design. We go out and try to find the best that we can find that want to come to Illinois. But we happen to find two from the same club team, in Ashton Philpott and Laney Smith, and both of them are very talented for their class, both in top recruits for prep volleyball. Both of them have been in the national team development program, which we've been targeting the last couple of years. And they're just tremendous players and tremendous teammates. I think that's the one thing that we always try to emphasize is we want to be really good, not only on the court, but as teammates too. I think volleyball is one of the ultimate team sports. All of our sports are, but I think really you need six players on the court that gel, whether they're on the floor or not on the floor. And both of them have shown to do that tremendously, and they both bring some versatility. They both bring size, and looking forward to having them both here in Illinois.
Do either of these players, how are you looking at them in terms of their impact? Is it more of an immediate or long-term?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, both, hopefully. I think with volleyball it gets really interesting because we don't have this giant run-up to training before we start to play. And so, as you've seen maybe in the couple of years past, you see a lot of my freshmen are redshirting, and that's some of it is just to do with the development from when they get to us to when we have to start season. And usually we get to start a week after football, the second week of August, and when our first game's at the last week of August. So we have literally about 18 days to get everyone prepped. And they come here for summer training, and they're with our strength coach, and they're doing open gyms, but that's not the same as being in the gym and being under training at our level. And so, but with them, because they played for a good club team, like we mentioned, they're in the USA development program. They know what it's like to train at that level. I expect both of them to have a shot at playing year one and go from there. But and I think their impact will be multiple years and in the program as well. And Ashton, like I said, very good middle blocker, really good reader of the game, which I think you have to be at this level. Setters are really good at our level. Hitters are really good. And she's really good with her lateral movement. And then Laney, maybe the most impressive versatile player I've seen in the last couple of years. Every year I've seen her play, she's played a different position and played it really well. So her first year, we evaluated her as an opposite. She came to camp as an opposite. Last year with their club team, they needed her to play middle to fill a void, and she had some learning curve there. But by the end of the season, you can argue you could have recruited her as a middle, and now she played outside for a high school team, and she just made All-American, an arm All-American as a high school, first team high school as an outside. So it's really good to have that versatility. We'll be training her as a pin, and Ashton will be a middle for sure.
How did these two sort of maybe fit, and just in terms of like as a roster building standpoint, like kind of what you've pieced together?
Yeah, I think when you first take over a roster, this is year 7 for me. And actually, interesting enough, I told Josh when I my initial conversation, I said you need about 7 years to to get where you want the roster to be in terms of how that balance is out there and what you kind of see with the landscape of recruiting and everything. And I felt like we've done a nice job recruiting. Unfortunately, we've had some of those players that have been projected to start for us, be out with some, bad luck with injury or illness for seasons or seasons on end in some cases. And so, but I feel like our positional distribution is really good. So you don't want to have too many in one position that you can't train everyone with the numbers you need to train or the reps you need to train. So for like outside hitters or pin hitters, as an example, you want them to get ball control reps. But if I have 7 DSs, it's hard to get those reps to those players, and especially if they want to play beyond the next level. The international rules change, the professional rules change. I just got off the phone with someone saying that they can't find 6 rotation outside hitters because our substitution rules are different, and not many players go through and play 6 rotations like Arena Terry or Jacqueline Quaid. So we're looking at Laney to do that as an example. And so I just think right now we sit in a really good spot with their scholarship distribution, our roster distribution, and training's been going well because of it.
I mean, just sort of maybe bigger picture. Are there like certain traits that you like are definitely looking for when you're on the recruiting trail? Like they have to have this, or I mean, they might not.
Yeah,
be
I think all sports you're going to come to this, like your skill versus your ability to jump high and hit hard and all that good stuff and athletic ability. You have to have some certain level of athletic ability to be at the top level, but then you have to have a ton of skill too. And so, the first thing we look at is just raw athleticism, but kind of what Janet was saying, you're looking for players that know how to win and have been in winning programs and the programs that drive them before they ever get here. Sometimes that's harder to teach players, and sometimes it's not in them. And so if they play for a program that has already pushed them, we know they've been pushed. We know they can be pushed, and you have to be at this conference and at this level and able to finish, where we want to finish, either in conference or in the NCAA tournament. And so we definitely look for the athletic ability. We look for the skill, but then at the end of the day, they have to be winners, and they have to be able to know what it's like to push against some adversity and be able to overcome some of those, some of those hard points in their career and keep going through the grind. Good. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.